Hey folks, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we have to talk about the price of Bitcoin because today it dipped to looks like below $100,000. Right now it's trading just over $101,000. Now, for the daily chart, we are seeing the RSI approach the oversold zone, so we should expect some sort of bounce soon. And in fact, we do need a reversal soon, guys, because I'm seeing a warning sign. As always, no feelings or emotions, just the data. The warning sign here is on the monthly chart. That MACD, which is still in control of the bulls, is at the cusp of flipping bearish. So this has me concerned. Again, I always share the data with you. If the data changes, then we got to go with it, right? Because we're not here to do emotions and feelings and so forth. So we need to see a reversal from Bitcoin because this is not good. Now, have we seen fake outs in the past where, these trend lines for the MACD come very close? Yes. But man, this thing is hanging by a thread here. So we need to see a reversal, folks, because that would mean bears will take full control on the monthly and would invalidate this bull market continuing. But it has not flipped yet. It's just near. It's at the tipping point. So again, we need to see a flip soon. And on the weekly chart, the RSI is touching levels that we haven't seen since the beginning of the year with the tariff crash and even going back to 2022 with the FTX crash. So again, with the setup here on the daily where the RSI is in the oversold zone and then the monthly needing that flip, that reversal, we need to see Bitcoin go nuts. I don't know what the catalyst is going to be. Maybe it's the government reopening. Maybe it's some additional announcements from the Fed and much more, but this is the time we need to see action. Now, something that's very good that's on our side, Jim Cramer has flipped bearish. He says, we are officially in a bear market. Now, we know inverse Cramer, if he's putting that narrative out there and everybody's depressed and, people are giving up and they're in fear and much more, then, we could see a reversal soon. No guarantees, of course, but these are signs we've seen in the past. And right now, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is in extreme fear. So the market conditions are there for a reversal with the RSI, like I said, Bitcoin oversold on the daily, and that monthly needing to flip. And the sentiments there, Jim Cramer is bearish. So hopefully we see that reversal soon. Now, I want to share some thoughts from some macro investors, guys like Dan Tapiero and Raoul Pal, who have been in markets for a very long time. Dan Tapiero says the bull phase in Bitcoin and crypto ends when no one thinks it's ending, i.e. not now. It does not end when every person involved in crypto Twitter is crying panic or exiting or whatever. Extreme noise today for whatever reason. Bad price action is supposed to shake weak hands. So he says markets 101. Now, this is what I've been telling you guys because I've been here since 2016 and I've gone through and learned my lessons and seen the different aspects of this market. And as I've been saying, one of the factors I've been highlighting that says this thing is not over is the bull markets don't end with people being in extreme fear like this. It ends with euphoria and greed, with massive retail participation and people feeling excited and they feel like it's not going to end. It's going to keep going up. I don't make the rules. This is just what we've seen historically, and it's happened outside of the crypto market, right? It happened with the dot-com boom. It happened with the real estate bubble, 1929, before 1929 crash, and much more. People are excited. We're putting tons of money. It's going higher. It's going not, oh my God, the market's out, and everybody's in agreement and everybody's scared, right? That's not how bull markets end. History is not on your side if you're thinking that this bull market has ended with that type of sentiment. So again, we got to follow some of the facts and history here, right? Macro investor Raoul Pal doubled down on his thesis that global liquidity is the single most dominant macro factor, in which I agree. As long as central banks keep printing money, guys, around the globe, asset prices will go up despite any short-term or mid-term volatility and pullbacks. So if you don't have that fundamental thesis for why you're investing, then you're going to be caught in a roller coaster ride. Do I like what's happening with the price action here? Of course not. Guys, I've told you many times, I've got plans. I want to take profits and I got plans for that money, right? But I'm also not panicking. I'm not in fear. I'm just sitting back and like, all right, this too shall pass because we've seen it time and time again. I've been here since 2016. I've seen multiple bull and bear market cycles, and I've seen major pullbacks in bull markets. My first major bull market was 2017, and boy, we saw 38 to 36% to 38% pullbacks and drawdowns, and that was scary. I mean, it was so volatile. And right now, we're down just over 20%. So it's like nothing. But the challenge with this bull market is the timeline, which I've been hammering home. The Trump tariff situation pushed the timeline back, and that's why I'm saying this bull market could go into Q1 of 2026, possibly further. But that is certainly a big headwind that has changed things a bit. But global liquidity continues to be a leader. The Fed is ramping down quantitative tightening. They're ending that December 1st. They're cutting rates. All of these things are conducive for the bull market continuing. Not necessarily that the rate cut is a dominant factor, but it is a contributing factor because it allows people to get easier capital, which they can invest, and it makes the mainstream average Joe and Jane to breathe a sigh of relief. Money, capital is becoming cheaper. I can get a loan for my business. I can get a mortgage, yada, yada, right? So this is where I'm looking at all these macro factors. Plus, guys, you have major milestones and landmark events that are still ahead, like the market structure bill. And in fact, Senator Cynthia Lummis was on TV today on Bloomberg talking about it, that this is the most important piece of digital asset legislation in the United States history, and the time is now. So the dialogue is still happening, discussions are still happening. Tomorrow I'll be interviewing the White House crypto advisor who works with David Sachs, who replaced Bo Hines, Patrick Witz at SmartCon. So I'll get you the details on that and the timeline. But you have these major things ahead, in addition to the altcoin ETFs and the government reopening and much more. And look at this. The crypto whale who nailed the October crash opens a $55 million Bitcoin and Ethereum longs. So that whale, which was identified via on-chain data, that made $200 million, shorting the US-China tariff announcement from Trump on social media that caused Bitcoin to crash significantly, is now long, right? So when you look at all these things, it's like, what's happening here? It's interesting. I also want to highlight what analyst Bob Lucas said. He says the bull case for Bitcoin incoming here or soon, weekly cycle low on extremely negative sentiment, mirroring the prior two cycles. So we're seeing the same cyclical pattern play out here, and the sentiments in extreme fear. So some sort of reversal is due soon. And boy, like I said, we need it because that monthly is not looking good, man. That monthly chart is looking weak right now, but a reversal can fix that. And it's on the monthly. So we got time for this to adjust, where November could end up being a very green month, depending on what happens, right? And that MACD can reverse. So that is what I'm looking at. So I hope you appreciate the data, and we're looking at the different factors here. And of course, other signals like the Bitcoin Pi cycle top indicator has not flashed. On-chain data showing whales, some are exiting the market, but it's not in a downtrend like what we saw in the massive whale sell-off of the ETF launch. So we're not there yet. Earlier this year with the tariff crash, we saw some whale sell-off as well. And what I was saying at that point is, unless we see a clear downtrend and aggressive selling, there's no need to panic. There's some people who's been trolling me in the comment section saying, see, the whales are dumping. And it's like, yes, some are exiting the market, but the majority are still holding. So the data, we have to go with the data now, right? People get emotional. See, it's happening. I told you so. And it's like, okay, but don't judge this prematurely. We have to wait and see what the data is showing us. So like here with the MACD on the monthly, I'm saying, let's see if we get a reversal, because people are going to jump on and say, see, Tony, you're an idiot. It's done. I told you it's over, blah, blah, right? They need that. They can't handle the uncertainty. They can't handle the potential. There's a potential bearish and bullish scenario. They need to know it is bearish or is it bullish. But when it comes to investing, we're looking at different scenarios and which has the higher probability of playing out. So, guys, this is where we're at. We need a move sooner than later. And maybe Jim Cramer here turning bearish and saying we're in a bear market is one of the biggest catalysts. He's setting the narrative out there for the market to reverse. And this whale who shorted and made a ton of money is going long. So we shall see. Folks, this episode is brought to you by VeChain, which is one of the top layer one enterprise blockchains out there. They are getting a lot of adoption from different brands and companies around the globe building different Web3 technology. I've been a VET token holder since 2018. I'm very bullish on this project. And some of the key features of the VeChain blockchain includes it's secure, affordable, scalable, fast, and sustainable. Some of the brands working with VeChain include Givenchy, PwC, Walmart China, BMW, and Boston Consulting Group. VeChain is also partnering with Dana White in the UFC, doing some very cool things. And Dana White recently said he bought $1 million of VET token. And VeChain also recently launched staking on Stargate. So once again, I'm bullish on this project. So if you'd like to learn more, go to vchain.org. Link will be in the description. Now, folks, look at this news. Canaan raises $72 million from top investors, including Brevin Howard and Galaxy Digital. So some big names here. The NASDAQ-listed Bitcoin mining firm has secured a $72 million strategic investment from BH Digital, a division of Brevin Howard, along with Galaxy Digital and Weiss Asset Management. The deal involves the issuance and sale of about 63.7 million American depository shares at $1.13 per ADS. So this is a big investment into a Bitcoin mining company. Again, put your thinking caps on. Why would they make an investment here if it's at the top of the market, right? If we are entering a bear market and everything's going down, the stock market, crypto, and so on and so forth, it doesn't make sense to be doing an investment here if there's no more upside. You know what I mean? So these are some things to think about. Now look at this. Gemini Exchange is preparing to launch prediction market contracts. So a lot of folks getting involved in the prediction market game here. So Gemini, the crypto exchange founded by the Winklevoss twins, is planning to launch prediction market contracts, Bloomberg reported Tuesday. Citing anonymous sources familiar with the plans, the report said Gemini discussed launching the products as soon as possible. In May, Gemini filed an application to the Commodity Futures Exchange Commission to operate a designated contract market, the regulatory status required for derivatives exchange. This new platform, currently under review, could potentially be the exchange for prediction contracts, according to Bloomberg. So the crypto exchange reportedly teased this new venture in a filing ahead of its September initial public offering, stating that it aims to launch event contracts for economic, financial, political, and sports forecasts. Very interesting. Now, another major takeaway I should have mentioned earlier with huge milestones and things that are ahead in this bull market, you still have IPOs in the crypto market as well as in the tech world. OpenAI in the crypto market, you got Kraken, BitGo, and others that are securitized as well that are looking to go public. So again, think about it. No one does a IPO when the market is topping in a bear market, right? No one. Look throughout history. So this is where you have to make sure you're looking at the market from multiple angles and from a macro perspective. Look at this. The SEC crypto treasury probe frozen by shutdown, but subpoenas could fly soon after government reopens. So the SEC has been not able to do their jobs because of the government shutdown. It's why I haven't been able to publish my interview with Hester Peirce, which really sucks. We had such a great conversation, and that interview is sitting ready to go, but they need to just review it and approve it, of course, but they can't because they're not working. So, but what's interesting here, the SEC is going to be looking into digital asset treasury companies. So let's see what comes out here. You know, there's a lot of players getting involved, and there could be some shady stuff. I'm not saying all. There are legit companies doing this, and and doing things according to the rules. But there could be some people doing some fishy things here. So we'll see what the SEC decides to do when the government opens up. Final news item here: Zerohash lands a MICA license amid $2 billion MasterCard acquisition rumors. So we recently heard that MasterCard was trying to acquire this company because they're a stablecoin infrastructure company and they got their MiCA license. So that's huge. That's very big. So the license positions Zerohash as one of the first MiCA approved stablecoin infrastructure companies, strengthening its appeal to institutions. So all the big banks, payment companies, credit card companies are looking to take a stake in the stablecoin market and either launch their own stablecoin or just build the infrastructure to support the existing stablecoins that are out there. If you recall, I had interviewed the head of digital assets at MasterCard, I believe it was earlier this year, and it's amazing what these companies are doing. Visa's doing some incredible things. You got PayPal and others as well. And today, in fact, I interviewed one of the folks from PayPal. So we talked about PYUSD and much more, and this was at SmartCon, Chainlink SmartCon. And, those interviews are going to be published by next week, guys. So you don't want to miss them. And yeah, guys, I still think we're in a bull market, not feelings. You may say, Tony, you're biased. No, I'm sharing the data. Obviously, I'm seeing something that is concerning on the Bitcoin monthly chart, right? Being transparent, being open with you guys. And we need to see a reversal soon. But I still think the macro thesis is in play. When you go down to the foundation of why we're investing, central banks, the fiat system requires that central banks keep printing, and that's going to drive your asset prices up. So you really got to be patient and have the macro view. So guys, let me know what you think about all this. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. If you appreciate this content, please subscribe to my free email newsletter. It is 100% free. Link will be in the description. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital, and my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you everything you need to know about crypto. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.